Hello.
How are you?
Hi, Jim. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Okay. Okay. So I get plugged in. Wouldn't you all be surprised if it's just me tonight? That's a joke.
One, two, 1, 2.
Can I ask you to please stand for the pledge? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening and welcome to tonight's town board meeting. It is Tuesday, March 26, 2019. First item on our agenda is bids and awards. Susan, do you have anything on that, or we just?
No.
We just read the,
No, I don't have anything.
okay. What this is bids and awards for our bituminous materials for highway-related items. Every year we put out a bid for all the materials that are used. It could be blacktop piping, catch basins, all that stuff, but we have to bid it out every year. It is a very long list. I won't bore you with it. Let's see if we have. I'll tell you who won the bids. RCA Asphalt, Package Pavement Company, Becker Materials, Cole Excavators was the low bidder for blacktopping work, for our road work. Westchester Hills, Fail Industries, ADS Plastic Pipe, Aluminum Pipe, and that's it. But you're welcome. This is, you can pull this up on the website if you want, give you a complete list of all these materials and prices. But this resolution will approve the bidding, the awarding this bid to the contractors that I had went through.
Move for approval, please.
Motion by Ms. Smalley,
Second?
second by Ms. Haggis. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item is public hearings. We do not have any public hearings tonight. Next item is purchase order 830-1903, rental of a soil screener. Authorization requested to approve the rental of a soil screener to assist in recycling the excessive excavation pile currently located at the Water Department Community Center campus area. This equipment will separate the rock and debris out of the pile and create material that can be reused by the town in trench repair. Then there is Pine Bush Equipment Company. Total rental cost is $6,500.
There's only two of us tonight, so I'm going to say move for approval, please.
And I'll say second.
Okay.
Motion by Ms.
And
Smalley.
do we alternate? Maybe
We
I'll say
can
second.
alternate, absolutely.
I'll let you two work that one out.
Okay.
That's smart.
Next item, purchase order 830-1904, water meters and related parts. We're still in the completion of our smart meter installation throughout town. This is two 4-inch water meters and related communication parts. Total cost for these meters is $6,523.26. And that's for Smith Wholesale.
Move for approval, please.
Motion by Ms. Haggis,
Second.
second by Ms. Smalley. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next order is purchase order 144-1904. This is electrical work that's required for the electrical vehicle charging stations. As we talked about in the past, the town has just received two, what do they call those cars?
Electric
Electric
cars.
cars.
I know they're electric cars.
Hybrid?
The name of them, it's Leafs, Nissan, is it? Nissan Leafs. We just received two of them last week. In fact, I had the opportunity to drive one yesterday. It's a pretty cool little car. But I think it has a 175-mile range on one charge, so it'll be great for our fleet cars that are, we have fleet cars that are in the early 90s, which can no longer pass inspection, so they will be taken off the road. Charging stations will be put in where the fleet cars are. There'll be one public charging station for anyone can use, And there'll be another set that has the 2 charging stations that takes care of the 2 fleet cars. We bid this out, we asked prices for 3 different contractors, but we're awarding this to Keating Electric. Total cost for this installation is $17,528. A lot of this is coming back as a grant. The cars, we received the grant for the cars, and because we're putting a public charging station in, we'll be getting a grant. We're getting a refund from the state for the charging stations. So this resolution will approve awarding the bid to Keating Electric.
Move for approval, please.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Smalley, second by Ms. Hagadis. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item is contract for professional engineering service for our water systems analysis. We had a meeting last week with the representative from Woodward and Curran. We discussed a few of the issues with the water. David Smith had recommended them. The total will not exceed $50,000. It's an extensive review of all of our tanks, the lakes, mechanical system, Kensigo system, and then make recommendations to the town. So this will award Woodward and Curran the contract for the cost not to exceed $50,000.
Move for approval, please.
Motion by Ms. Hagadis,
Second.
second by Ms. Smalley. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item is the authorization to appoint Joseph Briganti to the building inspector's position effective, I believe, tomorrow, March 27th.
Yes. That's tomorrow.
Move for approval, please.
Motion by Ms. Hagadis, second
Second.
by Ms. Smalley. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Just a little background on this here. Joe has been an inspector, assistant inspector for the town of Mount Pleasant for quite a few years. Joe's job and Sal Pinelli's job will be separated, where Sal Pinelli will handle all the commercial work and Joe will handle all the residential work. We believe this is going to speed up the permitting process and the inspection process. So we're looking forward to this moving ahead. Next item is, due to the change, Sal Pinelli will still be the department head, and this authorization will be to increase his salary by $5,000.
Move for approval, please.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Smalley, second by Ms. Hagadis. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item is authorization to appoint Andrew D. Gregorio to labor for the Water and Sewer Department effective April 2nd, 2019.
Move for approval, please, at the salary of $62,879.
Second.
Thank you. Motion by Ms. Smalley, second by Ms. Hagadis. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item is authorization to appoint Kyle
Wiesled.
Wieslid. I had to change screens, so I missed that word. To labor for the Water and Sewer Department. He is currently employed as a water operator for Heritage Hills Water and Sewer Plant. And he has similar functions work being completed in our town. So Kyle will be hired at a salary of $50,911, which is the starting salary for that position.
Move to approve, please.
Motion by Ms. Hagadis,
Second.
second by Ms. Smalley. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Authorization to hire Isabel Frata as a intern for the town clerk's office from April till June 2019. She will be a volunteer, and we welcome her to assist in the town clerk's office. But we do need a resolution to let that happen.
Move to approve, please.
Motion by Ms. Hagadis,
Second.
second by Ms. Smalley. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And you accept the resignation of James Rena from the Architecture Review Board effective March 15, 2019. James was very effective and important part of the Architecture Review Board, but his obligation now is with the library board, and the conflicting schedules doesn't make it work out. So he's going to continue to help us on the library board, but unfortunately we have to accept his resignation from the Architecture Review Board.
Move for approval, please.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Smalley, second by Ms. Agadis. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Let's see, receiver of taxes report. Interest is still 1.9%. At this point, is business from the floor. Anybody wishes to address the board is welcome to do so. If you did not already, please sign in when you come up to speak at the microphone. Come on up, sure.
Or stand up or stand here?
Come on up. Did you sign in?
Yes, I did.
Okay, just come up to the mic so people at home could admire what you're going to talk about.
Oh, wow. I haven't worked out enough, so I don't know. Do I have a limit on the questions I have or statements I have?
You have a 5-minute limit.
I have a 5-minute limit?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll start it now.
So, thank you for the opportunity. So I've been a resident for Hawthorne for about 8 years.
Can you
What
just state
house?
your name?
Daniel Blaze, different name for the assessor, right? So I understand the water problem, right? And I've been following it and watched on the website for about 2 years now, I think. And it's maybe 1.5 years. Not exact, but I know there are 2 last water reports that were not good, and they seem to be getting worse. So I'm wondering, the short-term fixes that the town is putting in, those are short-term fixes, those are Band-Aids. What's the long-term fix in this situation? It seems like the long-term fix is filtration, which other towns have done and other cities have done.
Not really.
Not all of them, but they
Quite a
have.
few, actually.
But
But I'll let our town engineer can address your question because he has more of a background.
So yeah, so like, is the solution just a Band-Aid or a flush, which seems to not be the answer, or is it put the filtration system? Because I hear a lot of like, every year the taxes go up. I don't see any improvements in anything that we're getting as town residents. In fact, I see things going backwards.
How long have you been here?
8 years. Taxes have gone up every year.
There's been a lot of changes in town in 8 years.
I hate to think that what the situation was before. I mean, I see roads that have cracks, and I'm not talking about winter. I'm talking all the time. Cracks, holes, potholes. I don't understand where the money's going. And again, that's maybe a rhetorical question not to be answered right now, but I'm posing these ideas because, I mean, we raise salaries, we raise taxes for salaries. Are we raising taxes to fund things that we need, like safe water? I mean, our property value is going to go down because of this water problem. If it's not fixed, it's going to get worse. I mean, bad water, not good. Nobody wants to buy houses in a bad water district.
We'll explain the water situation.
Okay. And then I don't know if this is the right form for taxes on school, but again, like school taxes keep going up.
We have nothing to do with school tax.
Okay, fair enough. School board then?
No, yes, school
I
board.
guess that's my next
Next time.
Next meeting.
meeting. So, and I just see, like overall, I just see a tremendous amount of growth in the town commercially. I actually work at a business that is in Hawthorne. That's what moved me to buy a house here. So I see all this or this potential tax revenue coming in. How come, I mean, I hate to think if all this business wasn't coming here, what would our taxes be at that point then if we had to just fund everything by property taxes? So I'm just wondering, as a concerned citizen, where's all the money going? Like,
You're welcome to review the budget. Do you have a copy of the budget?
I've seen stuff, but again, I don't know what
That's
each item is.
also on the
expense.
website. You can review that. You can see where every dime goes.
Okay, and do we offer abatements to these businesses to come in? Like, is that why, to
As
get them
far as-
here or solicit?
We had a thing with, first of all, it's the IDA. It's not the town of Mount Pleasant. The IDA came up with a program because PepsiCo was leaving.
Okay.
Over here. They were gonna leave here, abandon the building, go out to
Okay.
Plano, Texas. We had a meeting with them. We had numerous meetings with them. And we came up with a plan. the Valhalla School District owed $700,000 in tax certiorari. The town owed them $200,000 in tax certs. We negotiated an agreement with them. We wiped out almost $1 million of those tax certs.
Okay.
And we came up with a 15-year plan that they pay. Their taxes go up every year for 15 years.
The
Doesn't
Pepsi-
jump up, doesn't do this.
Okay.
So everybody knows how much is going to come in. They weren't given any gifts or anything like that, but they did get a sales and mortgage tax abatement through the IDA.
Okay. IDA was that
Industrial
Development
Fund.
Okay. So, all right, so we're not, it's to keep the jobs here and keep the facility
Sure.
going, which, okay, I get that, I get that. It just, aside from PepsiCo, like I said, the Audi dealer, the dealer on 9,
There was no
No?
deals with them, no.
really?
No.
Are we getting any revenue from? We are.
Should
Oh,
be.
but no
No
deals?
deal.
No.
No
Okay,
deals.
no. I'm not saying deals. When I say that, forgive me. I mean, not deals, but just like, there's all this tax revenue coming in. It seems to be increasing. You got all these big houses on the summit being built. Like, obviously, they're not all sold yet, but I'm just wondering, again, I mean, you're telling me to go through the budget, and I don't know how much I can do. I'm not a forensic accountant or anything like that, but like, it's just, as a citizen, as a layman, right? I see a lot of development, and I see taxes that keep going up, and I don't know. I hate to think what the town looked like then 20 years ago, because the roads are, the water, I mean, it's not the school district. I know you have nothing to do with it, but the school district hasn't really gotten better, but we passed a bond.
If you look at your school, if you look at your tax bill, look at where the money goes on your tax bill. It explains it pretty well.
Out of salaries.
No,
No,
No.
no.
the town of Mount Pleasant gets the smallest portion of your tax bill.
Yes, you're right about that, but there's still a portion that goes, and it still goes up, and
You gotta pay salaries, there's no way around
I
it.
get it. But I'm just saying, it's easy to raise taxes for a salary, but we're not going to raise taxes. I pay a tax increase to put a filtration system in. I would do that.
I hate
And
to
I'm
tell
probably
you what that
thinking
would
the
do to
most
your
people-
taxes.
I mean, do it over time. Federal government finances. But I know where I'm over
It
it.
doesn't work that way, but just so we're also looking at the filtration, but
Okay.
that's a down the road plan, and it's a tremendous amount. I think the number is around $38 million, and that would probably triple everybody's water bill. But if it comes down to the fact that we have to do that,
Mhm.
we'll look into that.
Okay.
We're trying to do everything else we possibly can to eliminate that burden.
And sometimes Band-Aid fixes cost more. That's what my concern is. Like, if we just go
These are
forward
not
with it.
expensive fixes that we're working on.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for the time. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Sir, I would urge you to come to the town clerk's office or the town controller's office and ask for a copy of the budget.
Okay.
It really isn't that difficult. It's timely,
Mhm.
but you'll also see a comparison between last year and this year. You'll be able to determine where the increases were. And then you can take a look on the website and see all the changes we've made in Mount Pleasant. Unfortunately, now my number might be off, but I believe it's about over 65% of your tax bill is for school district taxes.
Okay.
Again, my number might be off.
Okay. No, I-
but-
so you're saying that my plight and another should be the school district, meeting, the school board meeting.
That
I
didn't
don't
come from me.
It didn't come from
Yeah, no, no.
I mean, really,
No, I
we value
did
our
not say
schools
that.
too. Our
I did
schools
that.
are what attracts many families
No,
here
I know,
too.
but I mean, I'm not in the high school yet. Obviously, I have a small daughter, but like, I have neighbors that tell me the high school, for sakes, the chairs have rips in them, but we just passed a bond to pay for all these renovations, and the school taxes go up every year. But like, what is that paying for? Is it paying for salaries, or is it paying for the upkeep of the schools? Because the
There's a
bond should
budget
be
there you
separate.
can look at as well.
Yeah.
You
But
can look at that.
I'll approach that.
You can do that.
Yes,
Thank-
please
thank
do.
Thank you. Yeah, just so you're aware, we were below the tax cap this year. I think about 1.6 something.
Yes, 1.678.
Okay.
We've
Right,
been-
the
We've
cap
been
is
holding the line
2%.
on tax
Yeah.
increases. Anyone else? Sure, come on up.
If you could sign in,
Right here.
please.
Thank you.
I need to state my name or anything like that.
Yes, please.
So my name's Stephen Reyes. I live at 11 Pine Road, here off Stevens, Valhalla, New York, 10595. The reason I came was because of the issue with the water. I mean, I had a friend who's a geologist look at the document that you guys sent out, and what he didn't understand is why there's being an average over an upward trend, whereas it's not an up and down thing. It seems that it's gotten progressively worse. And is it the norm to take that average and not look at the most current valuation of what's been determined? Because the most current, it's at 80, so it's 20 above the per billion rate.
That's not the current, but I'll let the town engineer speak to that. It actually has gone down below the limit right now.
Well, I'm sorry.
But the average is, that's a requirement, I believe, to give a historical average
Mhm.
for the year. So it's not like, we'd rather not show that average, but we have to, because now our most recent reading is below the requirements.
Do you know what it is?
David
Again.
Smith will give you that information
and we
when
sent it out
you're
today.
finished with your question.
Okay, because I mean, I'm just looking at it's not dated here, but the most recent letter that we got was based on August, I guess, 8th of 2018, was it? And at that point, it was 80.2 per billion, and then the national average is 60. So, and I wonder, I would like to know what happened between February of 2018 to then May, because that seems where in that time frame it went up exponentially from 54 to 70. And I guess he was saying that they're going to flush the system
There's a
to
number-
try and correct it.
There's a number of things that, and I'll let the town engineer speak to that because
We got it today.
he's been reviewing this, he's been in discussions with the company that we.
Has the state or anybody else came in and tried to help facilitate a correction to the problem that it seems all of Westchester's currently having?
Anybody who's supplied by New York City Water Supply is having these issues, so it's from
Mhm.
here all the way down to New York City. And the other district is Pecanico. Pecanico is supplied strictly by rain and groundwater.
Mm.
It's not like it's supplied by an aqueduct. So there's another issue there where we believe that the effect of the halocytic acid and the chlorine is more abundant there because of the fact that it's more
It's
runoff
runoff,
than
yeah.
it is the natural filtration process where normally the rainwater goes into the ground and then makes its way to the lakes.
Are you guys aware of any systems that actually take it out that people can put in their homes to
There's, on the
remove?
website, there was some recommendations for a whole house or point of use filters that could be used if you believe that you.
Are there any rebates from the state or the city that
No, we
to install these systems?
New York City is like, we send you raw water and it's your problem. That's it. So we had that discussion with New York City last week.
I mean, because, it's funny, I was just talking with someone about this whole situation, and it seems that now we currently have the Con Edison moratorium, I think they call it.
Moratorium.
Moratorium, which unfortunately I don't have any gas in my neighborhood. It's wonderful oil, but they'll give me subsidies to have a geothermal unit installed in my house, which we're planning on doing in the next month, and solar panels. But this problem with the water, if it doesn't get corrected, it's going to be way bigger.
Well, the issue, we're trying to correct the issue.
You know.
That's what we're working on.
I mean, because 20 years from now, even though it says, could cause cancer, I don't want to, find out 20 years, oh, drinking this water, hurt our children and
Yeah.
myself and everybody else.
Yeah, we're sincerely addressing this problem, and Mr. Smith, our engineer, will clarify what he has come. his
So the way
findings.
that it works, it comes from the Kensico Dam, and then we have our own filtration system within the city that then takes.
He'll
the
address it.
sound.
He's the guy who knows everything.
We don't have filtration. We don't have filtration.
Oh, so we just pump the water to
It's
people.
chlorinated.
No, he'll explain it to you.
He'll explain it to you.
Because I got a crazy wife. She just wants to go and buy bottled water, like by
You're
the
on TV.
gazillion.
You're on TV. She just heard you.
Well, she's not watching. I
Yeah.
don't have to worry about that.
She can watch it on the website
But
tomorrow.
like, I'm just sitting
What's
here, and
for
then
dinner?
she's like, "We gotta get a filtration system." And I looked at one; it's like $3,000 not installed. I'm like, this is crazy.
And we we apologize for the hysteria that's been created around this, but
I mean,
Actually-
I threw out the last document. This one she got.
News 12,
No.
News 12 actually reported that the Westchester County Board of Health said that the water was safe.
You know, I mean, you know, I don't know. You hear about everything that, oh, I guess my time's up. But you hear about, like, you know, Flint, Michigan thing. I don't know where we even compare to that.
No,
Flint,
But that's
Michigan-
also like
no,
lead,
no.
I think.
Lead poisoning.
That's
Yeah.
lead poisoning.
Whole
That was,
different issue.
that was a public health emergency on a very critical level.
I
And the
knew it
federal
was lead. I
government
didn't
was
know if it was
involved.
anything else.
Yes. No, this is nothing like that.
Okay.
Our town engineer will try to answer some of the questions.
Sounds good to me.
Good evening, Honorary Board, Town Engineer, Town of Mount Pleasant. Just want to come, just for the few questions we received tonight, just kind of want to recap and answer those questions the best I can. Just to let this gentleman know that notice you had was in August 2018, but we did have 2 other samples that were taken, 2 other quarters. And just for that, just to let you know that we published all the results online. It's on the website. That in August 2018 at the one location it was 80, but then in November it dropped down to 67.8, and now in February it's down to 62. So it's slightly coming down towards that maximum contaminant level where they say is where you are supposed to notify people or not. So we are seeing, you know, some areas, most areas going down instead of going up. So it's slowly coming back down. Just to give you an idea that we do have some short-term measures we like to implement some within the next month or 2 months, some within the next 3 to 6 months. They're not big ticket expenses. The purpose of these short-term measures, we feel that we can have a good impact and get those values under the contaminant level of 60. How far we can get under where we feel comfortable. We'll maximize what we can with our treatment systems, and we'll know that probably within a few months. So our first object is to get the levels down below the threshold, and then to optimize them so that we can get at them as low as possible. Just to let you know that you know, the water we're receiving is coming in from, in terms of Kensico, is coming in from the city, and there may be, and we believe there's some changes to that water. However, you know, we are being supplied the water, and it's our responsibility to treat that water best, deliver that water to our own customers. Just to give you an idea that the water in Kensico, the water district is pumped in from Shaft 18 over here near Westlake, and we receive what they call pure raw water from the city, and it's not treated. We disinfect it with ultraviolet radiation or light, not radiation, light, and then it is chlorinated down at the Commerce Street pump station, and it's you know, we give it a good dose because it's in the tanks, and we want to prevent the chlorine from being underdosed going into the system. There's discussions to change that, and we're having that discussion now. The consultant is going through the analysis. We actually have a meeting. We're supposed to have a meeting this week. It got pushed off till next week to meet with the health department to discuss our options. They're monitoring what we're doing into the systems, and the discussion is either not to chlorinate as much, because the more chlorine you use with the organic matter, the more haloacidic acids you create. So there's an idea of, and it has to do with changing in the operation, but to chlorinate in the tank so that it's not, I believe it takes an hour of time that the chlorine's reacting with the water from the pump station into the tank. So if we can lower that time, we're definitely going to lower the creation of haloacidic acids. And that's not a major expense by far. There is a talk about putting a fiber optic cable just to make sure we have some backup to our systems, so we don't have any issues regarding if there is some failures at the plants. But those items for Kensico and for Pecanico, We just published them today. They are on the website. We are doing is getting as much information that we have out there because we want to address this. This is affecting everybody, and we want to address it. So I believe that was. Oh, we also have the filters, and there's one of the filters we listed is like $800. So the cost isn't as high. We tried to find something that was at a smaller price range, so people wouldn't have to, go to the bank or not go on vacation this year just to pursue this if they need be.
May I ask a question, please? Just
Sure.
for the public information. What happens if you lower the chlorine so low? What then happens to your water? What would be in your water that would be more dangerous if we didn't have the enough levels of chlorine?
Yeah, if the chlorine levels are too low, then you'll end up with pathogens. You'll end up with sickness, diseases. Just to give you an idea that back in the early 1900s, a water system was rated based on the number of deaths that they had from the water system. So if you had only a few, it wasn't, you were doing pretty good. So we've come a long way from there. However, but the having no chlorine, the benefit from having chlorine in the system outweighs the potential for these haloacidic acid influences. And some people say, well, why use chlorine? Go with other disinfectants. But those disinfectants also produce byproducts that are more harmful than the haloacidic acids. So, we're not alone in the situation now. As far as we know that other municipalities taking water from the Kensico are facing similar types of issues. But we are, at least we believe, ahead of the game to try and combat this problem and then get it under control.
Am I correct to understand that Westchester County Department of Health has stated that the water is safe to drink?
Correct. They say that it's safe to drink. It's not a hazard. If it was a hazard, they're required to report it within 24 hours. That in their documentation, they say this is more an opportunity for the district to look at their process system. And then also getting back, just reminding me, the state requirement is a running annual average. So that's by the State Board of Health. And so that means every quarter that you get a result, you have to take the prior 3 quarters and average them. And then that's your result for that time. At any time that goes over 60, you have to issue a notice. And the reason for that is that the studies that were done on animals were constant concentrations. So they applied one concentration, they didn't fluctuate it. So if the haloacidic acids are fluctuating, they take the average across the board. And if it's above 60, they believe that that's when there could be, the potential for those issues.
However, sometimes I wonder if the potential for, it's almost like you're in a double bind. If you don't use chlorine, there will be pathogens in the system that can result in illness. And I have seen that many times as a public health nurse. But if you use too much chlorine, the byproduct is haloacidic acids, which has a potential, if large amounts of water are consumed, to be a cancer causer. Unfortunately, there's so many things in our environment that have the potential to be a cancer causer. It's difficult to monitor everything, but I appreciate what you've done. I certainly appreciate the conversations that we've had, and also that since 2 weeks since the last public meeting, that we have moved ahead and hired consultants. As Mr. Smith said, many other communities, Mamaroneck, for example, is in the same situation. And I have to just say that town of Mount Pleasant, because we did listen to the residents, has really made a giant step in remedying this problem, reaching out to the health department. I believe the supervisor has had conversations with New York City, hiring consultants, and now I believe when I read today, a 4-step plan to begin to alleviate the problem. Thank you.
Yeah, and quite frankly, if we can do, if we can do these smaller, minor changes that aren't cost prohibitive and get these levels, let's say 20 points down, distance to where they used to be. I mean, the averages were in the 50s, so if we can get them below that, then everybody, I think we're doing, something good for the community. And then at that point, we can, reevaluate where we're at. And then if there is a desire to get better results in that, then we can talk about it.
And I would also urge people to look on the website. The town website is very informative. And not only look at it, subscribe to it, because there will be alerts sent to you if there is an issue. And there is now a water advisory page that is current. It's updated all the time. And there's a frequently asked questions page that may just address your issue. So, I really would strongly recommend, there's many things you can find out from being on the webpage and being a subscriber, not just about the water. But if this is your concern right now, that's the place to look. And I think the town has been very responsive, because that page went up within 2 days of the last public meeting. So.
And a lot of the, just sorry to interrupt, but a lot of the
Yeah.
information that was provided were requests from residents.
Yes,
So the requests came in, and then we try to do our best to make sure that we reviewed the information. And since 2 weeks ago, we've had 3 alerts that went out with providing this amount of information. And we're prepared to do even more if needed, if questions still come in.
right.
And moving forward, as we learn what these other items that we want to pursue, we will provide that information online.
Right. Facebook is not the place to get the information, by the way. When, people ask me on Facebook, I just say, this is the website, and I post the link. So,
I think one thing is very important to remember, the way we are dealing with water in the Kensico Mechanical District has not changed over the years. What has changed is the supply of water that we've been getting from New York City. So there's nothing that we have done to exaggerate the situation.
Correct. There's not a failure in the system. It's the system's been operating the way it's been operating. I believe that this process started with repairs to the aqueduct, and the DEP has to make repairs to the aqueduct to make sure, one, that they're supplying the water, and that the water is not being turbid, and they're recovering their losses, meaning that they did have significant losses in the aqueduct. So they're doing what they need to do to strengthen their system, and unfortunately, sometimes these results happen. So we just have to make sure we prepare for it. And if it gets I believe we're going to get the numbers down, but it's just a matter of if we can't, we'll prepare to do what we need to do to get to the point where we're all feel comfortable with it.
Very good, thank you.
Thanks.
thank you.
So I've been on the website, and personally I found it a little bit vague. I just have a few questions because I do have an infant at home.
Can you state your name, please? I'm sorry.
Daniela, I'm sorry.
Daniela?
Yes.
Daniela,
Oh, Tempio Cucurella.
Okay.
I do have an infant at home. I'm sorry. Okay. I do have an infant at home, and I just want to know, can I boil pasta? Is it okay for, because I know it's not safe for infants. So where are those boundaries? Can I boil pasta? Can I, use water for coffee? Can I shower? What are those limitations? What should I not be doing, just so that I know, what's safe, what's not so
Make
safe?
sure it's a good quality pasta first. One of the things I was reading up on, if you boil, we're not saying that this water needs to be boiled, but if
Okay.
you want to feel safe about it,
Yeah.
boiling it for like a couple minutes automatically eliminates that issue.
Okay.
And more, like you boil for 5 minutes, it's even better. So
Okay. So, washing dishes, things like that is safe, not safe. I should.
we've been told it's safe, safe to drink.
Okay.
The health department has said that this is safe water. It is safe to drink. It is safe to use.
For infants as well, or
Well, with
because
infants,
it does say keep away from infants. on some
that
of
is
the
always
websites.
a personal choice.
Okay.
It really is.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Someone else over there want to come up?
Did have a follow-up question.
We'll let you get away with it because you're new in town.
8 years, you're not that.
Ah,
Do I understand?
wait,
I'm on
20.
here- I'm here
Yes,
65
yes,
years.
Yes, because you're on TV.
2
You're on the
minutes for two
microphone, so you
questions.
have to be picked up by the TV.
So, state your name again, sir?
Yep.
Daniel Blaze. Just to respond to some of your statements, and I had a question. So New York City put a third tunnel, aqueduct tunnel, years back, right? So, and they're changing stuff, right? But water is still water. I believe the assets are being created by the point of disinfection, the chlorination, right? So I'm wondering, you said that the levels have, in your recent test this past week, at the school, both on school and in Commerce and someplace else, that the test dropped, right? Dropped slightly, sorry. The test dropped slightly. Why did it drop slightly? Did you guys put less chlorine in it? Or did you start flushing something?
It's a combination. First of all, like I said before, the water supply we're receiving, that changes.
Well, it changes from,
Constantly changes. It's the TOCs, it's organic materials in the water.
well, yeah, it's
Varies.
coming from the Catskills or the Delaware Water Gap, right? I mean, rainwater, groundwater. I mean, it changes, but the chlorine affects pathogens. It kills it, right?
Correct.
The ultraviolet does something else, I forget. But I don't take this the wrong way, but is the problem that we're having with the water system right now, is it a result of mismanagement of the chlorination process? Too much, too little? Because I put a whole house filter system in my house 2 or 3 years ago because I noticed there was a tremendous amount of chlorine smell coming off the water. I felt it. My daughter was, actually it was probably 4 years ago. My daughter was like 2 or 3 and her skin was drying and I'm like, what? And I would smell the water. I could smell the chlorine coming off of it. Never complained. I never did anything, but I put a whole house filter in that reduced that chlorine out, and tremendous effect. But I have to ask the question, is it a human error? Not on purpose, but is it human error that's causing these acids to build up? Because water is going to come from the same place. And yeah, water does change slightly, but it's not like we directed the source someplace else.
No, the water changes considerably. You're getting water from 3 or 4 different reservoirs upstate.
Yeah.
And then it comes down and blends into the Kensico Reservoir, and then we get it from Kensico into the Commerce
Street.
pump station. Our process has not changed over the years, how we treat it. In the summer, when the water is hotter, you may have an elevated chlorine level because the bacteria will grow faster if the temperature is higher of the water. So that's something you have to counteract that. But I'm not an engineer, but if David wants to add to that, he's welcome to.
You guys are going to hate me, right?
I just want to make sure you go to the school board meeting.
Just to answer your question, chlorine is the vehicle that creates haloacidic acids, but the particle that's in the water is what leads to that being created. So the haloacidic acid, if there's carbon in the water, a total organic carbon, the carbon is what creates the haloacidic acid, and the chlorine morphs it to that haloacidic acid. So if you have no carbon in the water, you don't have any haloacidic acids in the water. That's what a filtration plant does. A filtration plant removes the carbon from the water, and then you can chlorinate it and you don't have any haloacidic acid. And so the question is chlorination. The way the system's designed, the system is so vast that when the water leaves the tanks, we have to chlorinate at a higher level, because from all the way down to Regeneron and Home Depot, it's quite a distance that chlorine has to stay in the system and still read at an adequate level down at those levels, the outer parts of the district. So the good thing is that the pipes are aligned so that the chlorine there's not much bacteria in the pipe, so it's not going through and using up all that chlorine, but we have to provide some levels of chlorine in the system. As far as the human error part, it's not really human error because our chlorine levels have constantly been higher, except that when we started getting these notices 2 quarters ago, we started adjusting our chlorine levels. So our chlorine levels have come down significantly, where we can monitor and make sure that we have a proper chlorination in the system. So we've done that, and we maintain those lower chlorine levels. But if organics come in higher, then even if it's a little bit of chlorine, it's still going to have much more to react with, and that's why we're getting our haloacidic acids. So so the process moving forward is to reduce the time of chlorine contact. There is some, and that's what we're looking at now. There are some risks because if your chlorinator fails, then you need to get someone there immediately in order, and we could stop the flow of the water and stuff like that. But there's a lot less margin of error for the treatment of water. So we have to, one thing, like I said, is we're getting the better telemetry from Commerce Street by running a fiber optic cable. So if we do have any issue in the process, that we can get on it right away and we can address it. So that's the risk you run, is you end up stopping producing water if you have your chlorinator go down. The old way was we're chlorinating enough so we felt comfortable. So and as far as the chlorine levels, and I stated last week that the level was 5. It's actually 4 milligrams per liter. In the district, we're averaging, it leaves about a 1.2 or 1.3. So it has time. So we've never been over, 1.5 going into the system. So we're pretty much almost 50% or more than 50% under the maximum limit for chlorine in the system. And that's been constant for the last number of years.
Thank you. Yes.
It's almost as if you're saying, David Smith, it's a complicated balancing act.
Correct.
Okay.
And it's ongoing.
Yes, daily.
Yeah.
Ken Noonan, Valhalla. 2 questions. One, tonight was the first time I heard anybody say that boiling was an effective way to get rid of the haloacidic acids. Is that correct?
I just read up on it.
You just read up?
Yeah.
Because
But the caveat, you're not an expert.
at the last meeting, it was said that boiling was not effective. So who has now said that boiling is effective?
a notice though that was sent out that you could boil the water?
No, I don't know. Let's clarify.
Let the expert tell you.
Not that you're not. No, I'm not an expert either. Yes, you're not.
I too am not an expert, but I am pretty good at the information. Just to let you know that you may have read some information. From what I understand is boiling helps with, there's 2 types of haloacidic acids. Boiling improves one significantly, but it also has an ability to raise the other one.
Yes.
So you may have read the one about and I forget which one of it. There's one that haloacidic acid that's more concerning than the other, but there is a little bit of a trade-off there. But like I said, it's information that's out there, and it's hard to look at different studies and all that.
And the second question I have is, does the amount of rainfall have any bearing or any relationship to the haloacidic acid levels? Sorry.
That's why we actually produced some information about, we compared both districts to our annual rainfall. What we did find was that the 2 most significant annual rainfalls we've had have led to one or the other district being beyond the level. But then again, we had some other years where the level, we had just as much rain, maybe a few inches less, than the levels were lower. So we couldn't really come to that conclusion based on just the annual. But I mean, you probably would have to look at if that, that rainfall was spread out through the year instead of only having like 5 days of excessive rain. So it would probably require a little bit more investigating, but we couldn't really get that that conclusion when we looked at the annual rainfall.
What would you be saying then, that the more rainfall would bring more carbon into the system? And okay, thank you.
Unfortunately, we can't control rainfall.
Nope. We're working on it.
Anyone else like to address the board?
So then my
Come.
question was answered then.
Come on up.
So now you're telling me it could not affect anything. So what is the resolution? What should we do? That's my question. What do you recommend that we do? Should I be the crazy wife and go buy packs of water, bottles of water? What do you recommend?
Well, we don't want you to be the crazy wife, Daniela. Okay. I've known you for far too long.
Yeah.
Again, it boils down to a personal choice. But like anything, we tend to become the worried well. And this is an issue that probably will resolve if the correct steps are taken. It's not unique to Mount Pleasant. Unfortunately, it's happening in other communities. And as we've said throughout the evening, we're making steps to correct it. My fear is that the opposite will happen. My years in public health mean that if we don't chlorinate and produce clean water, the pathogens that are much more devastating to a newborn, to an infant, to an older person that is immune compromised are much more virulent. The effects are more drastic. And that's the balancing act that David Smith and the water department are constantly going through every day. What should you do as a mother? Again, it is your choice on how you plan to keep your family safe from this increased haloacidic acid and just to continue to watch the levels. If you decide to boil pasta in Poland Spring or mix baby formula in Poland Spring, then you deal with the effects of the plastic that are in the bottle. There's no perfect solution, and there's nothing that the town board can tell you to do to make it perfect. I kind of apologize for that, but that's the truth.
And just to add to that, it really comes down to how you feel. I mean, anybody can tell you what to do, what not to do. I mean, a medical doctor could give you medical advice, and that's where I would first go to. However, it really comes down to what you feel is what you're feeling inside that you feel is necessary. As far as maybe a short-term solution would be, I mean, we did post 2 point-of-use filters that you can put, and they're pretty significant that you put the water in the filters and the filters will fill up and then you could use that. That's been shown to reduce the haloacidic acids by up to 60% or close to 66%. So you do get a benefit. And just to let you know that I believe the study that I saw that when you boil the water, it increased one by 30%. I'm sorry, it reduced one by 30% and increased another one by 20%. So, so it's almost like a balancing act when it comes to that also. So so it's really, like I said, it comes down to your preference and what you feel is how you want to protect your family.
My understanding is if the water were that unsafe, we would have been informing people more rapidly. Red flags would be up. I mean, we all live here, those of us sitting up here, and I imagine everyone sitting there. And certainly we're under the same concerns that everyone here is. So
correct. If it was deemed a public emergency, public health emergency, we would have had to notify in 24 hours, and we would have had to provide some documentation of what to do in that instance.
Anyone else like to address the board? There be no one else, we'll move on to our town clerk's report.
Town Clerk's agenda, March 26, 2019, Town Board meeting. Received agreement between County of Westchester with Town of Mount Pleasant for enhanced 911 service. Received notice of resignation of James Arena from the Mount Pleasant Architectural Review Board. Received Mount Pleasant Library Board minutes for January 17, 2019 and February 13, 2019. Received notice of liquor license renewal, Silvio's Restaurant and Pizzeria, 628 Columbus Avenue, Thornwood, New York, 10594. Received 2 planning board resolutions. The North 60, notice of intent to serve as secret lead agency, and Consolidated Edison Company of New York, 315 Old Sawmill River Road, wetland control permit.
Thank you. Councilman DiPaolo is home healing from back surgery, and we all wish him a speedy recovery. I think Lori, you're gonna
Yes,
help us with
yes.
controller's memo this evening?
And my best wishes out to Nick DiPaolo. I'm certainly not him, but I am going to try my best. Okay, in the Department of the Town Clerk, General Code Publishers Corporation, Code Analysis, Composition and Finish, $1,933.41 for the total in that department. Attorney, Bond, Schenknork, and King, PLLC, February 19th, Legal Services, $504. And $50. Caraco Heating and Cooling, LLC, three-way zone valve boiler room, $830. Heating system, PD, $597. Pipe installation, PD, which is the police department, $880. Replace the zone valve, LL, lower level, $522. Zone valve, the boiler room, $830. For a total of that department, $9,242.50. Special Consulting Services, Historic Hudson River Towns, 2019 membership dues, $3,000 total. Off-street parking, New York State Department of Transportation, commuter parking on Marble Avenue, a total of $1,400. Public safety, Corsi Tires, scrap tires for the PD, $56. Tire stock for the PD, $832. The total, $888.20. Safety inspection, Certified Elevator Inspections Incorporated, 12/13/18 and 1/16/19. Elevator inspection, $750 for the total. Recreation Administration, Tremont Offsetting, 2019 Spring Summer Brochure, $3,700. Regional Office of Sustainable Tourism, Kelly Rizzi, April 6-9 Summit, $420. For total of the Recreation Administration, $4,120. Parks, Westwood Swimming, 2019 Parking Agreement, $600. For the pool, A&C Furia, Electric Motors Incorporated, Marlowe Pump Repair, $2,925. Tremont Offset Incorporated, 2019 Spring Summer Brochure, $3,500. Regional Office of Sustainable Tourism for Elizabeth Linsalato, the April 6th-9th, 2019 Summit, $270. For a total here of $6,695. Youth Day Camp, Regional Office of Sustainable Tourism, James Matamorano, April 6th-9th, 2019 Summit, $425 total. General Repairs, Westwood Swimming and 2019 Parking Agreement, $2,400. Stillwell Equipment Corporation, Road Tamper Wheel Kit, $2,375.25, for a total in that department of $4,775.25. Highway Machinery, Cummins Power Systems, LLC, Injector Clamp, $204.96. Injector Clamp, Injector HD 39, $1,972.83. Noach Isolator, O-ring Seal Screw. That's a hard one. $257.51. Deal & Sons, Bolts Filter Valve, HD 53, $311.17. Module, Sensor Hose ASY, HD 57, $4,434.53. Rod Assembly for the HD 27, $452.14. Eagle Equipment In-Out Box Weld Met HD 55, $2,232.20, for a total in highway machinery of $9,865.34. Highway Snow Removal, Chemung Supply Corp. Plow Blades, $2,958. Reed Systems, Liquid Envirobrine, 3,300.3 gallons at $1.06 each, $3,498.32. Liquid Envirobrine, 4,758.9 gallons at $1.06 each, $5,044.43. The total in highway snow removal, $11,500.75. Highway garage roof repair, Charles A. Manganero Structural Design Highway Garage Roof, $20,837.50 total. Capital Project Botanical Water District Number 1, Alon Industries Botanical Water Treatment Plant, $22,237.60. Ramos and V Tree Service and Landscaping for tree work, February 21st through 25th, 2019, $900. Tree work, February 8th through 20th, 2019, $1,500, for a total in that department of $2,400. Mount Pleasant Refuge District, Ramos and V Tree Service and Landscaping tree work, February 21 through 25, 2019, $3,600. Tree work, February 8 through 20, 2019, $6,000, for a total of $9,600 in that department. Mount Pleasant Consolidated Sewer District, New York Presbyterian Medical Group Hudson Valley, 2019 physical for 5 employees, $750. Amazon Capital Services Gas Alert Gas Detector, $723.63. The total is $1,473.63 for that department. Joint Water District Fund, New York Presbyterian Medical Group Hudson Valley, 2019 physicals for 5 employees, $1,125. Amazon Capital Services Brita Water Testing, $89.74. Gas Alert Gas Detector, $1,085.45, for a total in that department of $2,300.19. Old Farm Hill Water District, All Makes Pump and Motor Repair Incorporated, Valve Service, Palmer Lane, $1,520. Shannon Chemical Corp, blended orthophosphate, for a total of $20,400.75. Trust and Agency Escrow, Andrew Sanders, Taconic Track Refund, $62.50. The Controller's memo grand total is $137,832.52. All documentation is on file in the Controller's office. Thank you.
Motion by Ms. Smalley,
Second.
second by Ms. Haggis. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
The next item is purchase order 13119-04, 2019 for IT infrastructure updates. This is a summary of Sullivan upgrades. They are a data control company, Sullivan Data Management. The total cost is $11,318.64. In addition, $7,144.88. I'm not great in doing the math right away. However, these are 2 different account codes for support. For the first total of $11,000, support, email, and antivirus subscriptions and renewal. For the second, $7,000 for infrastructure additions and upgrades. Move for approval, please.
Motion by Ms. Smalley,
Second.
second by Ms. Haggis. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. And the last item is authorization to make a final lump sum payment to Superintendent of Highways. And that was for Peter Ciliano, who recently retired. And I just want to get to the additional attachment so that I can give you the update on that. It's a total of $11,847.60. Move for approval, please.
Motion by Ms. Smalley,
Second.
second by Ms. Haggis. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. That ends the Comptroller's report.
Thank you. Councilman Ciliano is doing the opposite of Mr. DiPaolo. Mr. Ciliano is on a beach in Florida, resting his back and enjoying the surf. Ms. Haggis has agreed to take over for Tom Kennedy.
Good evening. I'll start with the purchase order, number 30-1916, and it is for 3 Cardiac Science IntelliSense batteries at $318.40 each for a total of $955.20, plus the shipping, which is $15, and the total cost is $970.20. I move for approval, please.
Motion by Ms. Hagertis,
Second.
second by Ms. Smalley. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
The second is purchase order number 30-19-17, and this is vendor number 4222 for Amazon Capital Services, and it is for a battery backup replacement for a spare unit in the records room, and the total cost is $894.95. I move for approval, please.
Motion by Ms. Hagertis,
Second.
second by Ms. Smalley. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
The third item is a request to hire Gianmarco Del Vecchio as maintenance mechanic for the Traffic Safety Department, effective April 1st, 2019, at the annual salary pay of $60,000 and $60,767. And he will be subject to a 52-week probationary period. Move for approval, please.
Motion by Ms. Hagertis,
Second.
second by Ms. Smalley. All in favor?
Aye.
We're all
Any
in favor.
opposed? Motion carries. You said that so well. He would be happy to hear how you pronounced his name.
You know, as a language teacher, you know. Anyway, the fourth item is the authorization for Lieutenant Ford to attend the FBI LEDA conference, April 28th through May 2nd. And this is an organization that offers law enforcement executive training. And as I said, it's on April 28th. And the cost of the conference and the hotel is $810. Supplemental costs are not included, may make the total approximately $1,000. So I move for approval, please.
Motion by Ms. Hagertis,
Second.
second by Ms. Smalley. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
The last item on Councilman Ciano agenda here is an authorization to send up to eight police officers to a forensic training seminar on April 4th, 2019. It's a one-day training seminar sponsored by the Westchester County Chiefs of Police Association and the Westchester County Detectives Association. It's on April 4th, and it's on law enforcement forensics. The 8 officers will be $30 each. So, yeah, that's all it says. So 8 times 30 is $240.
$40.
I can do that.
Right.
And so I move for approval, please.
Motion by Ms. Hagertis,
Second.
second by Ms. Smalley. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Councilwoman Smalley.
Oh, now I'm back to being myself. My usual report. Actually, it's short this week. This is from the Superintendent of Recreation and Parks, authorization to accept instructor rates for pool courses. Memo number 21 of the year. We will accept the following instructor fees for town pool courses. Lifeguard training and CPR AED first aid, $1,000. Lifeguard training recertification, $550. CPR AED first aid, the full course, $300. Water safety instructor, otherwise known as WSI, $22 an hour, and CPR for a civilian, $30. Move for approval, please.
Is that 300?
Oh, excuse me, yes, $300.
Thank you.
Thank you for catching that.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Smalley, second by Ms. Hagertis. All in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed?
Aye.
Motion
We're all-
carries.
The next is authorization for the Recreation Department to enter into contract with TD Bank. I am very happy to announce this. This is memo number 22, I'm actually going to read the whole thing to you. The Recreation Department requests authorization to enter into contract with TD Bank to process and authorize credit card use and payments in the Recreation and Parks Department. Approval of this contract will allow the Recreation Department to begin to accept and process program registration online. It will also allow credit cards to be used as a form of payment, both in person and online. The contract is attached to these memos. However, anyone who wants to can also view it in the Recreation Superintendent's office. This is something that the Recreation Commission has been trying to provide for the residents of Mount Pleasant for quite a few years, and I'm very happy to say with the help of our new comptroller, Brian Keneally, and the work of Kelly Rizzi and her staff, we're able to do this. It will alleviate some of the costs or the difficulties when parents especially are providing in the summer day camp and pool, which, as you know, can get quite expensive. Using a credit card might help them spread out their payments or get points. So we're very excited for this. Move for approval, please.
Motion by Ms. Smalley,
Second?
second by Ms. Haggis. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
And the last item is authorization to provide mental health training class to seasonal administrative staff. The Recreation and Parks Department requests authorization to provide this training. This training would be available to our administrative full-time and seasonal staff, including recreation administrative staff, day camp and pool directors, and assistant directors. The cost of the course is $2,500 to certify up to 30 participants. Approximately 20 Mount Pleasant employees will participate. The remaining space will be available to surrounding recreation departments at a rate of $100 for the participant. So not only are we providing this for our staff, for 20 members, but we're inviting others to come and share in this. Move for approval, please.
Motion by Ms. Smalley,
Second?
second by Ms. Haggis. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you all. That's the end of my report.
Thank you. Councilwoman Haggis.
Yes, now I'm back to my report, which is the Highway Department. My first item is a purchase order 50-1906 to the Route 23 Automall LLC, and it's a new engine for HD23, and because there was a damaged block on the vehicle, and so there's a $1,500 core fee for the damaged core, where it says, due to the damaged block on this vehicle, Jasper will charge a $1,500 core fee for the damaged core, whereas Route 23 Automall LLC will not charge a fee for the return of the damaged core. I move for approval, please.
Motion by Ms. Haggis,
Second.
second by Ms. Smalley. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
The second item is requesting authorization. Authorization to discard PD-48 and remove from the inventory Police Department's 2002 Chevy Tahoe inventory, and I won't read you the VIN number. The body mounts and body are rotted out, and the vehicle will not pass New York State inspection. Upon approval, I will remove this vehicle from our insurance policy. And this is submitted by David Barker, the Director of Fleet Operations. I move for approval, please.
Motion by Ms. Haggis,
Second.
second by Ms. Smalley. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
And the last item on my agenda is that David Barker has also requested authorization to discard and remove from the inventory Police Department's 2001 Ford Crown Victory inventory. The frame and around the lower control has rotted out enough not to pass New York State inspection. Upon approval, I will remove this vehicle from our insurance policy. I move to approve, please.
Motion by Ms. Haggis,
Lori.
Second.
second by Ms. Smalley. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'm trying to see if you guys paying attention.
Yeah.
All in favor?
So much.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Our town attorney has some tax certiorari items.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. We have 4 proposed settlements tonight. The first one is for Guardian Life, the property owner located at 100 Summit Lake Drive in Mount Pleasant. Tax ID 112.15, Block 19, Lot 3. It is a settlement for 8 years of tax certiorari claims with the total amount of approximately $90,000. I request a motion to approve the settlement of that tax certiorari matter.
This is a negotiation between the school and the
Yeah,
town.
so we have been in court on this for a number of years. We appear in the Supreme Court weekly. This has been discussed at length. The school district has signed off on it. They obviously pay a lot more in tax certiorari settlements. The building just down the street here, one of the issues that we're facing, and all municipalities are facing, are low rental occupancy in commercial buildings. And due to that, the values come down. They bring a tax certiorari claim, and it needs to be a refund or a trial. We try to settle them with the tax assessor. This is a rather large one. There have been a few large ones. The vacancy rates along Columbus Avenue here are low. The same issue is happening in Harrison along the Platinum Mile, so it's a big issue. We are settling a lot of them to get rid of them, and hopefully they will be back and they would get repurposed. But this is approved by the school district also after lengthy negotiations.
Thank you. Need a motion?
Move to approve, please.
Motion by Ms. Hagadis,
Second.
second by Ms. Smoley. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
The next three are much more palatable to you. Property owners S. Baddeley at 74 Beekman Avenue in Sleepy Hollow. Tax ID number, section 115.11, block 5, lot 10. And it is a settlement of 5 years for the refund amount of approximately $200.
Move
Again, a
for,
negotiated settlement with the property owner, town, school district. This is Tarrytown School District. And request the approval of this by the town board, please.
move for approval, please.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Smoley, second by Ms. Hagadis. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Third one is a proposed settlement for the property owner of Cortland Development at Mechanical Street in Sleepy Hollow, block 115, lot 3-1, 115.11, block 3, lot 1. Again, the Tarrytown School District, a settlement of 9 years for a refund amount from the town of $250. I request a resolution, Mr. Supervisor, for a settlement of that matter. And that amount.
Move for approval, please.
Motion by Ms. Hagadis,
Second.
second by Ms. Smoley. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Final one is the settlement of a property owner, Sammy Properties, Inc., for 1 year, 4 Pleasantville Road in Pleasantville, section 106.5, block 3, lot 4, Pleasantville School District. Also a settlement with the school district and the property owner in the Supreme Court, a settlement amount of approximately $300.
Move for approval, please.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Smoley, second by Ms. Hagadis. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
The last item this evening will be our schedule of meetings. Our next work session will be April 2nd, 2019 at 7 p.m. Our business session will be Tuesday, April 9th at 8 p.m. If there be no further discussion on the board, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Smoley, second by Ms. Hagadis. Meeting adjourned. Thank you.